Hi everybody, welcome back to 70 Years Tiny Farm and More. We haven't posted a video in a while, so I apologize for that. It's just a super busy time of year for our family. Lots of birthdays and events going on. But today I am attempting to make chapstick with beef tallow, beeswax, and some essential oils, and I want to make those for the Christmas stockings. So I've been trying to get this done for a couple of weeks now and have not, well actually more than a couple of weeks, but have not been able to find the time to do it. So I'm going to try to attempt that today. So let's get started. So I rendered some tallow down, or some suet down to tallow. It's probably been about 2 months now. So this is how long it's been since I've wanted to make chapstick. I did this to make some lotions, and so I did that. And then also, so in this recipe is going to be some tallow, beeswax. I just got this at the local natural grocers. You can, I think, also get it at Sprouts or your herbal stores. You can get beeswax anywhere. So it's simple to do. 3 ingredients, just tallow, beeswax, and then you can put some essential oils in it. I use peppermint. I'm going to use peppermint and some sweet orange. So that's what we're doing today, and I'll kind of show you the process. Okay, so I'm using about 55 grams of tallow to about 15 grams of beeswax. Okay, so the recipe that I'm following says to use a double boiler, but I don't have a double boiler, so I'm just using a bowl over a saucepan to melt this in. We're going to melt it all down and add I'm going to do some peppermint right now. I think that's going to be the more popular flavor. I already did a little bit of, I did 4 tubes of the sweet orange. I did some peppermint. It's really hard to get it into the tube without dripping it down the side, so I'm going to try to do some more peppermint. But once this is all melted down, I'm going to go ahead and add the peppermint to it, and then we will put it in the tubes. I have this little tiny funnel, but it's kind of hard because it gets clogged up when the wax dries. The chapstick dries, that little hole gets clogged up, but we'll do our best. This typically melts pretty fast, so just kind of watch it. It's getting there. Okay, in the box with these chapstick tubes that I just purchased off of Amazon, there's a card that gives you tips. And it says on the second item, pour temperature of 125, 135 degrees is very important. And when I did this first batch of mint, I totally forgot to let it cool to 125, 135 degrees. So that's why I'm doing another batch of mint, just in case these get screwed up. I'm going to save these for myself. But hopefully the second batch, I did remember to do that for the orange. So I'm going to do that for the second batch of mint. So we shall see how they turn out. Okay, I added my essential oil. I put about 8 drops of mint in here. Just going to mix it in. Get that last little bit to melt. Beeswax takes a little bit longer to melt than the tallow does. that last little piece to melt. Come on, buddy. Okay, I took the chapstick mixture off the heat, and then I'm going to use this little laser gun to figure out how hot this is. 168. So we're going to let that cool a little bit. It recommended using a laser gun so that you don't make a hole in the middle of your chapstick with a probe. I have one of these for the chicken coop for when we get chicks, to make sure we got the heat, that it's heated properly. So I'm using that for to measure the temperature of the chapstick. Okay, it cools pretty quickly. It's been probably about 3 minutes. Well, when I just measured it a minute ago, it said 158. So, Okay, it's probably been about 4 minutes now. It's getting down there. Okay, it started hardening back up on me again, and it's, oh, now it's 135. Shoot. It's really touchy. It cools really quick. I'm going to just heat it again slightly. I just put it over I turned the burner down to low. And I'm just going to let it heat up just a tiny bit again before I put it into the tubes. Okay, I just tested the temperature. It was at 141, so it's slightly over 135, but I'm turning this down to low. I'm just going to keep it over the heat so it doesn't get hard so fast. And then it says to do this in lifts. So you put a little bit in, and then let it cool. So we'll move it to the next one. Put a little bit in. Okay, we'll move to the next one. You can see that little hole's getting clogged up. So yeah, my hole's clogged up. I need to get a toothpick. Pick and get it to go down there. All right, we're gonna let those pores cool a little bit. And we'll clean off this little funnel. All right, I cleaned that funnel off a little bit and they're cooling a little, so we're gonna try the second lift. Okay, I had enough to do 5 tubes. This is a very messy process, and tried to keep my hands clean, but I still got some grease on the sides of the tubes, but I'm going to make little labels to put on them. So hopefully that'll cover it up a little bit. But yeah, I had just a tiny bit left. I don't think that's enough for another tube, so I'm just gonna throw that out. Okay, so this is the finished product. This is the chapstick. These are the little labels I made. Just tells what's in it: the tallow, beeswax, peppermint essential oil. The edges are a little bit sharp when you push it up through the tube, but with just a little bit of use, they soften up. But I really like it. Turned out pretty good. A little more practice and I'll get better at it and won't have so many drips on the outside of the tube. This one has a little bit of stuff on the outside, but overall I'm pretty happy with them. I put them in Christmas stockings and gave them as gifts, so something that I'm not worried about the kids using, so turned out good. Okay, with the rest of this tallow that's left over, I'm going to make some hand lotion for a friend of mine at work. Ken has eczema of the hands, and this tallow lotion really helps with that. And so my friend at work has also has eczema of the hands, really bad, and so I'm going to make her some tallow lotion for Christmas. And the recipe that I'm using, I'm just going to use tallow, avocado oil, and a little bit of coconut oil. And then I'm also going to use some lavender essential oil. Okay, we'll let this tallow render down, and then we'll measure it out and add the oils to it. Okay, this is pretty much rendered down now, so we're going to take it off the heat. Gonna let it cool for a minute. I'm not sure how much this is going to be, so I got to measure this out. Oh, it's just right at about 1 cup. Just a tad less than a cup. So we'll put in about, it's gonna fall in there, 1/3 of a cup of avocado oil. And I'm just going to put in a little bit of avocado, or olive oil. I mean, not olive oil, I'm sorry, coconut oil. You mean like about a 1/16 of a cup. Actually, I should have let this cool a little bit more. We're going to let it cool a little bit and then we'll whip it. I should have let the tallow cool a little bit before I put the other oils in it, but it'll probably be fine. Just let that cool. All right, I'm going to put some lavender essential oils in here. I don't know, about 8 drops or so. Let's have time to cool. So now I'm just gonna whip it. Okay, so I put this in the refrigerator just for a couple minutes. I want to whip it. You just want to get it nice and fluffy, nice and creamy. Just going to whip it a little bit more, and then I'll show you. What it looks like. base. I don't know if you can see that, but it's really creamy. It's really creamy. And we're just going to put it into this little jar here. Ooh, I think I made too much, but that's okay. I'll keep some for myself. Kind of messy. This jar's small, so it's hard to get it in there. Let's see. A little bit more in there. I think that's as much as I'm going to get in there. Lid on. I'll put a little label on here for her. But yeah, this is her part of her Christmas present. I'll probably give her a little bit of something else too, maybe a chapstick. And that'll do it. I have a little bit left over. I'll put it, see if my jar that I made for me earlier a couple months ago can fit this. If not, I'll put it in another little jar. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me, and we'll see you on the next video.